In this episode, Florida mountains? Talk to me, goose. And the love handle. Welcome to episode 73 of the We Are Auto Show. How are you, Derek?
Mr. Michael Rell, I got to drive on some good Florida driving roads recently.
They were long and straight, weren't they?
No, I was north of Orlando in a city called Claremont. Have you ever heard of it?
I actually have, because I've heard Claremont has some very rare thing to us Floridians called hills.
Yeah, it did. It had surprisingly good hills.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, they were rollers. They were not. We don't have any
They weren't
mountains.
peaks.
Not really, no. It was very small, smoky mountains up there. But still hills nonetheless. And with hills, you usually get driving roads.
Yes, you do.
They're there. You just have to find them.
Can we go find them, please?
We were heading up there to play disc golf, and I had a buddy that I don't think it was the first time he had been to the BRZ. And I think he normally drives the Crown Vic. So, big difference.
Oh, yeah.
And I was bombing it into corners at, like, reasonable speeds. I don't know.
You're just going late.
Yeah, what that car can handle. Nothing crazy. And he was like, oh, man, my Crown Vic could not do this at all.
Well, give it to Gino, and I bet it could.
Ooh, you're right. He probably could. But it was cool. We went up there. We played some disc golf. The way we went up was take I-4, like the normal interstate, and then branch off at Lakeland and kind of weave our way through back roads. And I did that on purpose because I wanted to see if we could find a good driving road. And sure enough, on the way there, solid driving roads. Quarters that are banked, going up and down hills. You're doing 55 to 60 because it's a 2-lane road and it's like very rural. It was actually a lot of fun.
We need to take a trip.
We need to.
For sure.
We need to go up there. The disc golf course we played, called Champions Point. It was like amazing. Super cool. I played out of my mind. It was amazing. It was a blast.
Sounds like you had a great day.
I did. And the day before that, I watched a movie.
What'd you see?
Top Gun.
Ooh.
How about you?
You know what? I saw Top Gun too.
Did you?
I saw Top Gun Maverick. And it's funny. It's the first movie that I've seen in theaters since Ford vs. Ferrari.
Ooh. I don't even think I saw Ford vs. Ferrari in theaters.
Oh my God.
And I'm going to kill you more. I never saw the original Top Gun before seeing Maverick.
I should end this right now. You should. Oh my God, Derek. I'm going to force you to watch the original Top Gun. Flying F-14s in a fake MiG-28 that's actually an F-5.
Oh, was it a fake one?
Yes.
Oh, man.
The MiG-28 in the original Top Gun is an F-5.
But in this one, they had real F-18s, right?
Yeah, real F-18s. They did have a real F-14 as well, which is accurate because the Iranian Air Force does actually fly our old F-14s.
That was the one where the wings go in and out?
Swept wing.
Yeah. Okay.
Always love that. And you actually could fly that with asymmetrical wings.
Oh, you could put one way out?
If one got stuck, if a hydraulic leak or something came out, and you were all wonky, had one wing all sideways and one wing swept, you could still land it on the boat.
Oh, did not know that. That's pretty cool.
So I happen to love the new Top Gun. Did you like it?
It was good. It was very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a fan.
I loved it for more than just the planes.
There were some cars in there. There were cars that the manufacturer started with a P, and I was like, damn it, he's going to say things.
Yep, sure am.
All right, let's talk about it.
So the original Top Gun had a Porsche, and it was an amazing Porsche that you know what? I am going to spoil it for you. The Top Gun instructor, well, one of the instructors, was driving, and it was a she. It was her old speedster from the 50s.
This was in the first one?
The original Top Gun.
Okay.
Yeah. So Tom Cruise's instructor lover was driving a 1950 something, I don't think 58 or so, Porsche Speedster.
A Porsche Speedster?
Yep. Love it to death. Beautiful car.
That is like every Porsche file's dream.
It's very good.
Yeah.
It's very good. But the new Top Gun Maverick, it did star another Porsche. Two of my favorite things, airplanes and Porsches.
I saw this at the end, and I was like, I need to ask him.
It
what is
wasn't
this?
just at the end. This car made cameos throughout the movie. It was parked in front of the bar, and every time I'm like, oh! They had a 1973 Porsche 911S, and I don't know if that's Jennifer Connelly's actual car or not. It might be.
Does she really have that?
She might.
Huh.
Don't know. I don't know the accuracy of that or not, but there was also another cool plane in that was not the F-18 or the F-14. It was Tom Cruise's actual P-51 that he's working on in that. That's his plane.
There was also an F-35 in there.
Yeah, briefly.
Early, I think, in the
briefly.
carrier.
That's our current fifth-gen fighter.
Right.
But I loved it.
Did you have... I had a little beef with that movie.
What?
The scene where Tom Cruise is going Mach 10 because he wants to be that guy, right? And he's disobeying
initially?
His orders. Yeah, no. Well, the part where the plane breaks up.
Yeah.
Okay. Whenever things are going into the hypersonic regime or way past, when things break up, nothing survives.
Correct.
And he just stumbles into a bar that looks like he rolled around in a fire pit.
Yeah.
And I was like, I get that they had to do that for Hollywood purposes. You can't just kill the main actor right away. But I can tell you, no one is surviving that.
Yeah, 5 minutes into it, he's dead.
Yeah, he would have
been. It's funny you actually mentioned that because I was listening to a different podcast with a former U.S. Navy fighter pilot that has actually ejected out of an F-18. Like in real life.
At what speed?
At like just under Mach 1. I think it was like Mach 0.98 or something like that.
And he lived?
Barely.
Okay.
He was in the hospital. He's had surgery on surgery on surgery. Yeah, he's just beat to hell.
Whew. That's intense.
So it makes you think, imagine the Hollywoodness to eject at Mach 10.
Yeah, no. That would be
a good beef.
Yeah. If the Challenger would not have broken up in the atmosphere on re-entry, like, okay, fine, maybe. But you don't survive when you're going orbital velocity.
No.
Anything. Just anything at all.
It just rips your body in half.
You get turned into mist. Yeah, that's it.
Pretty much.
So, overall, great movie. I get that Hollywood had to do their thing. And cool planes, cool cars.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty awesome.
Definitely. So, you ready to move on to our car spots of the week?
Let's do it.
All right, so I'll start it off.
Do it.
Because my car spots are probably a little bit more up your alley.
Okay.
First thing I saw that's not up your alley that I just have to put in as an honorable mention is a Miami Blue GT3 RS with Orem wheels.
Orem wheels.
Bronze wheels.
Okay.
Just like the spec that we're looking at right now.
And it is Miami Blue, huh?
So good.
I love that color.
That is my favorite spec for that car, I think.
Is that your favorite color for that car?
For that car? Maybe.
I know there's a purple that looks pretty good.
Yeah, but that was a launch color on the 991.1. This is a 991.2. Miami Blue was a paint to sample color on the 991.1. And that purple is called Ultraviolet.
Okay. I like that purple better than the Miami Blue. On that car specifically.
Fair point.
If it was like a Cayman or not the GT3, I like the Miami Blue better.
I just like Miami Blue.
It's a good color. It's a great color.
But honorable mention, have to throw the Miami Blue GT3 RS on Orem wheels in there.
All right.
What else? My next spot is a spot that I hate. And for those watching on YouTube, I'm sorry if you do vomit. But I did see the new BMW iX, the electric SUV thing.
Oh.
And oh my God, it is as ugly in person as it looks in pictures. Jesus Christ. It's horrible.
Why do manufacturers do this? Why does an EV have to be so weird looking? BMW is a hot mess here, right? They make it edgy around certain aspects of this car. They make it aerodynamically efficient in others, and then they throw the giant kidney grill that everybody absolutely hates on their BMWs, just right on the front. And it's an EV. You don't need a grill. Look at every Tesla. They don't have a grill. You don't need it.
It's so bad.
Ooh.
It's so bad.
In person, was it worse?
Yes. I saw it in person. I was like, wow. I thought I hated it in pictures. I hate it in person. That's not very good.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Not really a huge fan of that one, I'll be honest.
What else did you see?
You ready for my spot of the week?
I am.
My spot of the week is a car that is very much up your alley. And it is another EV. I hate EVs. Mm-hmm. But it's maybe my favorite EV that I've seen so far.
What might that be?
The Lucid Air.
Oh, you did get to see a Lucid, huh?
This is my second Lucid I've seen.
That's right.
I saw the press car that was that gold color.
Mm-hmm.
The Lucid I saw was black with silver roof and like silver accents.
Oh.
And I will be honest, it was actually pretty attractive looking.
You liked it.
In that spec, it looked very luxurious. The gold to me is just kind of like too old person-ish.
Yeah.
Right? But the black with the silver accents, with the silver roof, black and silver wheels, silver trim pieces, that just kind of does it for me.
I've never heard you say good things about an EV.
No. It's the only time you will.
This is a first.
It's got the best range of all the EVs.
It's
better than Tesla.
It barely, but yes.
But
yes.
Best is best.
Sure.
A win is a win, whether it's by an inch or a mile.
If you're happy, I'm happy.
So it's got the best range. It still accelerates like a bat out of hell.
It does.
It's very luxurious. And it's got a driver-centric kind of interior configuration. Mm-hmm. It's got gauges. It's got screens, but gauges in front of you. It doesn't have the Tesla blank, barren, wide desert landscape of a dash with just a TV in the middle. Mm-hmm. I'm never buying an EV, but if I was forced, this would be the one I buy, I think.
Really?
I think so.
Wow.
Never buying one, ever. But if it was, we're going to kill your wife, or you have to have this Lucid, or you have to have an EV, I think the Lucid's the one I go for.
I wonder if we drove this car, if you would change your mind.
I'd probably even still not want one.
Really? Because it'd be spooky fast.
They're 0 to 60 in still like 3 seconds or something like that, right?
Right. But their price is hefty. We're talking
it's like 100 and something thousand.
Yeah, we're talking. I'm sure the spec you saw was around 150 or something.
It's about the same as a Plaid, right?
Yeah, it would be.
And it doesn't have a yoke.
Like 120. Right. Don't have that. Don't have to deal with that because that's works in F1 cars. Not sure about normal cars. It's cool.
Of all the new EVs, the Lucid is maybe the best one.
Big Lucid guy, huh?
I like it better than the Taycan.
Whoa.
I can't live with the Taycan's range. I can't.
It's like
It's not enough.
It's like 200.
It's not enough.
220 or something.
It's not nearly enough. It doesn't even crest 300.
If you're just dailying it to work.
I don't care. It's not enough. I will never not have range anxiety if I can't get damn near 400 miles to a range.
At least it's somewhere between 400 and 500.
That's what I'm saying. They've got the most amount of ranges, right? It's still fast. It looks like a car. It looks luxurious. It's like, I'm never buying one, but if I had to, I think the Lucid's the one I do.
I think it's the best at the moment. I think that will change over time, and I wonder if they'll be able to hold the crown on the range and for how long. But range isn't everything, though I think this has Tesla trumped in a lot of spots.
And I like the black with the silver. The
It
black
does look
with
sharp.
the silver works
It does.
really well on that car.
It works on the front and the rear.
It works really well on that car.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that like Porsche or Mercedes or BMW are going to be able to come out with a Lucid Killer at some point?
Eventually, if they put enough money in it, sure.
But we're talking 10 years from now,
Yeah.
right? A long
In the
time.
immediate future, no. In the far off, distant-ish future, yeah, for sure. Because any one time the big names, the Porsches, the Mercedes, the Audis, they're gonna just sink their German teeth into the German engineering of the German electricity, and then they'll produce a vastly superior German electric car.
The German electricity.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah. So it's my spot of the week.
That's fantastic.
You still
spot.
haven't seen one yet, have you?
I have not. I have not seen that. You keep on sending me Rivian R1Ts that you see. I have not seen one of those.
All the time now.
Yep. Have not. I did see a Kia EV5, I think is what.
Oh, that's the one that looks like an Atari.
It's kind of odd. But
Looks like an Atari, doesn't it?
It's not terrible.
It's got Atari vibes.
Kind of does. Yeah.
It looks like you should play Pong with it. Doom, doom, doom. Next time you see one, that's what it looks like.
All right.
It looks like an old video game.
I'll keep that in mind.
Like pixelated.
Mm-hmm.
So, what have you seen while you've been out and about?
So I actually have some good spots this time.
Really?
Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do.
Yeah, sometimes your spot is a Honda Ridgeline.
I mean, can't go wrong. All right. So I got to see a Ferrari 812 Superfast.
Ooh.
Pretty cool.
Front-engined V12. Give me more of that.
Didn't get to hear it because it was at a stoplight across from me.
Boo.
Yeah, which I'm sure it sounded fantastic. But it was this gray, this matte gray, and it had, I think, the white and the black stripe that we're looking at here. It was a good spec.
I like that.
Cannot go wrong with that.
The ultimate road tripping. Well, no, you need a GTC4 Lusso, but at the moment, the ultimate road tripping Ferrari, the ultimate grand touring Ferrari.
You think so?
Oh, well, I know so. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Transcontinental blast at 200 plus miles an hour.
Front engine monster.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure we're talking like north 800-ish horsepower.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I believe
An
it's
absolute
close
monster.
to 812.
Whew. Jeez. Great spot.
Yeah.
Got to see a black R8, your dentist's car.
Yep.
An absolute classic. Nothing too fancy about it. It's a V10, black rims with, that's about it.
Black
it's
and
an
white.
R8.
Just kind of, yeah.
And you can see the BRZ through their gloss there.
Oh, yeah.
Happened to park right next to it.
I can see the reflection of the BRZ.
Indeed. Saw that up in Orlando as we were driving around the hills.
Fair enough.
Yep. But my car spot of the week actually goes to something a little different.
Oh?
Yeah. So I got to see what I thought was a Tesla is not a Tesla.
Oh, God.
Saw a Lotus Evora S.
You do this every time you see a Lotus.
I do.
Every time you see a Lotus, you go, oh, it's a Tesla. No.
That's because the original Roadster was based off the Evora.
Yes, but the Lotus came first.
I totally agree, and I understand that. But I'm always hoping in my little mind, I'm hoping to see a Roadster. Because I think at some point, the Roadster, if not already, will be more valuable than the Evora.
Sure, yeah. As a resale, yeah.
Right. As a collector's car,
Yeah, because
the Tesla Roadster.
You could buy a used old, first-gen Evora for, I don't know, probably 40 grand.
Really?
Yeah.
They're that cheap?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The original Evora, I think the spec that we're looking at,
Yeah.
you're probably 40, 50 grand on the used market.
So I believe that the one we're looking at is around 2011, 2012, and it's probably an Evora S, which is what I believe I saw. It was this blue. It had this black stripe going down the middle, which I thought was a pretty cool spec.
Good spec.
Yep, great spec. This car originally with a 3.5 liter V6.
Oh, so that's the Toyota V6.
I believe
Yep.
it is. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
You're right. Making around 345 horsepower. Not too bad.
Okay.
Did come with a 6-speed manual.
Yep.
Give that a good check. And the weight is the problem here.
Wait, no. Weight's not a problem. Lotus. The whole idea of Lotus. Simplify and add lightness.
3,166 pounds.
What?
I don't know how. How
That
did this
should be
car
a-
weigh 3K?
That should be a 2,600 pound car.
Less. It should be 2,400 or 2,200.
Yes, but how is that almost 3,200 pounds?
I don't know.
Yeesh.
Yeah. That's a really heavy car.
That's not simplifying and adding lightness. That's simplifying and adding heaviness.
Yeah. And they're not known for being electronically sound, mechanically sound.
It's a Lotus.
It's going to break. It's
That's
guaranteed.
probably why you know what? You're probably not finding it for 40 grand. You're probably finding it for like 20.
You're probably right.
Oof.
But it's rare to see these nowadays.
Yeah.
I don't see many around town.
Every once in a while, same, but yeah.
Is it the older one or the newer one?
The newer
Because they're
ones
still
that I
coming
see.
out with them.
I see the newer ones. I don't see the older ones.
Right. This was an older one for sure. But I think that they're still... Were they making them up to 2021, I
Recently.
think?
Yeah, like within the last couple of years here.
Right.
Yeah.
But they've stopped now because they're moving over to their EV stuff.
Mhm.
We've talked about that
Yep.
in the news. But I'm very... I feel bad for the guys who got one of these and didn't buy a Roadster. Because I have a feeling that the Roadster is going to be big money
Eventually.
in 50 years, right? In a long
You're
time.
not going to hold the car for 50 years.
What?
No.
There's so many Porsches out there that guys are holding for 50 years.
No one's going to hold a Tesla Roadster for 50 years.
Yeah, they will.
You.
That's not... Back in the day when the Porsche Speedster was around, they would say, nobody would hold it until 2020.
Yes, they were. It was magnificent.
No. As that was the first Tesla to come out, I bet you that there are guys holding on to those. And they're going to make a pretty penny on them.
Good on them.
There's one flying around Mars right now.
Yes, there is.
All right. That rounds out the car spots.
Okay.
Is there any I wish they would have that you have come up with, my friend?
There is.
All right.
So my I wish they would have is weather related.
Oh.
So recently we've had some pretty big storms roll through our area.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a weather condition that I haven't seen since I lived in Colorado. And it was hail.
Thought you were going to say snow.
No.
Okay.
But hail.
Ah,
You ever experienced hail?
I have.
It's horrible.
It's bad.
And it will kill your car.
It will, if it's big enough.
Yes. So, my I wish they would have is that I wish your car could automatically deploy some sort of hail barrier. So whether it be something that, the way my brain's going is like something that expands off the roof and just creates like a cover or a tent over the car. Something like that.
Okay.
To just give you a barrier.
My first thought was like airbags.
And shoot the hail back up.
Yeah.
Just
They're all
repel.
bouncing everywhere.
My brain's thinking like, I don't know, some sort of something that like expands from the roof of the sunroof or something like that and just completely covers the car in, 5 seconds or whatever it is. And now your car is not getting absolutely destroyed by the hail.
Was your car out and about at this point in time?
No, thankfully. But also the hail we had here was just like pea to quarter sized hail.
Oh,
so it wasn't really big enough to do
No.
any real damage. I mean, maybe a little dent here, but nothing like you'd see. When I was living in Colorado, I did see hail big enough that it was between baseball to softball sized hail.
That will mess up a car.
And I remember I'm still kind of traumatically scarred from what I saw because the hail, it didn't just crack a windshield. It actually punched a hole clean through it.
Oh boy.
Like just clean through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's serious stuff. You'll never get that here in Florida.
Correct. But that's my wish they would have. Is I wish that you could just, on your car keys, you may have a remote start. I wish there was a little button where it just boop, and then some sort of expandable barrier just pops up from the roof and you're now covered.
I love the idea. I don't think it's very practical.
It's not very practical, but you see what I mean.
Yeah. If we're talking about actually saving you from baseball to softball size hail,
It's got to be metal.
yeah, it's got to be thick, heavy metal. And it's very unlikely that that's going to be anywhere in a car or
Correct.
around a car.
But
Just get a tank.
I would drive a tank.
Of course you would.
I would drive a tank. But
I
yeah,
think a tank is your solution to your hail problem.
sold. Give me a tank.
Perfect. All right. Do you want to hear mine?
Yes.
So, while I was up in Orlando and I was driving around, I came up to a stoplight in the buddy I had in my car. As I pulled up to it, I was creeping down a little tiny hill at
Okay.
2-3 miles an hour.
Not
slowly. Yeah, it was red light. I was slowly crawling up to the car in front of me. And instead of using my brake to stop the car, I used the e-brake. I just pulled the e-brake up just enough to get the friction in the back and get the wheels stopped. I was in neutral, no problem. But when I did that, my friend looked down and he's like, what was that? Huh? And the car stopped, and he was really confused. You can do this. You don't often stop the car with an e-brake, but when you're going so slow, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, if you're not doing it at 50.
Right, at speed. That would be a problem. You'd burn through your e-brake real fast.
Yeah.
But I wish they would have is I wish that they would get rid of the electronic e-brake because I couldn't do it with the same finesse that I was doing when I was stopping the car on a hill with the manual e-brake, the pull up with the lever and the cables, right?
Yep.
You actually have finesse there. With the electric one, it's just stop, full in or full out. It's a button.
With the button, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't just gently press the button.
No.
The button's either on or off.
Right. And whenever you have that situation, you can't go to the gravel road, assuming you have a rear-wheel drive car, kick the clutch, crank the e-brake, slide it in, and then power down and slide out. That doesn't work with an electronic e-brake.
Correct.
It just locks everything up and you slide to a stop.
Yeah. And your car's like, stop.
Yeah. I wish they would get rid of the electronic e-brake.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to keep putting proper handbrakes in cars.
Does the car that you train students in have an electronic e-brake?
It does now. The previous gen did not. So the new cars that we're using, because we can't use 20-year-old cars.
Right.
The new cars that we're using are now just a button.
So do you push the button
Sometimes.
to
But no.
teach them?
Yeah, just understand what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But not at 50.
No. But I imagine that when you were using the old one, you had no problem just coming over there and cranking the lever.
Maybe.
If this situation was correct.
Maybe.
All right.
Well, that's all I got. You got anything else?
That's all I got, buddy.
All right, so that's going to wrap us up, episode 73. Thanks so much for watching and listening. If you're watching on YouTube, let us know. Do you have a handbrake in your car? And a proper one. So leave a comment on this video. Drop a thumbs up as well if you can. And subscribe while you're there. If you're listening on audio, so, Apple, Google, Spotify, wherever, leave us a 5-star rating and a review. Drop a comment there, too. That'd be cool. And don't forget to follow us on social. Facebook is We Are Auto. Instagram is We Are Auto _. YouTube is We Are Auto. And our website is weareauto.io. So thanks again so much for watching and listening. And we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.